Welcome. We're back. Another day in the market. 1 second. Alright, I think I'm good now. We got 12 people in here and like 12 likes. That means everybody so far has liked this stream. That's awesome. Alright, well, let's get into it. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, then the market, then clov, Fisker, AMD, Wish, maybe. I don't know. We're going to talk about a few things. Then the ongoing trades. We got a lot to talk about, so vibes in the chat. We're back. Final stream of the week. Yeah, let's just start off with Bitcoin. Nothing. Really no update since last night. Bitcoin hit its highest level since May yesterday, live while we were on stream. Pulled back a little bit, like 1,000 bucks since, and really just hasn't done much. The 4-hour MACD did go back over to red. The daily is losing momentum. Kind of like the largest upper wick you've had on a candle in a while. It's not the best for the short-term technicals. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like bearish, but just I don't really see any bullish variables currently. So whatever. I mean, it's up like 30% since the alert at 43k, so still good. Hopefully it can hit that second target. It would really suck if it got like $600 away from the target and then that's like the top, but hopefully it's not. So yeah. What's up, Big Nate, Austin, Waffle Maker, KTF, Spiderwebs, Ray, Mr. Robinson, Charles, Mike, Laidback, Ty, how's everybody doing? Yeah, good day in the market. One of the strongest days for the market in a while. We're going to talk about everything. Futures are flat right now across the board, so really not much to talk about when it comes to futures. And yeah, JG was not first tonight. That was crazy. But let's just talk about the market. All right. I mean, what a day in general. Today was just, we had a nice gap up, and even after the gap up, we went up like another percent. So almost a 2% day for the S&P, which is not normal. That's a very, very good day. I think this is the best day in... When's the last time we went up this much on the S&P? I really don't see it. Yeah, this is the best day for the market in months, I think. I mean, this was the closest, July 20th. We were up 1.5%, not 1.7%. So, yeah, really good day today. Even 1.5% there. I'm gonna stop trying to look for. I think this was pretty much March 26th was like the closest day I can see. I don't know, maybe I'm missing one, but today was insanely good for the market. That's very strong. It's crazy, you know, it really is. On Monday when we were selling off, I said look for a bounce on Tuesday or Wednesday. We got the bounce on Wednesday, which was yesterday. Last night on stream, after we got the bounce I originally talked about on Monday, I said I think we're going to see a continuation of this bounce on Thursday or Friday. And I said last night, you can go back to stream, I said I think we're going to keep bouncing. And well, we did that again. So I mean, if you've been watching the stream, I've been trying to just hand out, I don't know what, but I've just been trying to give a handout over here, this whole entire zone over here. I feel like I've done a pretty good job. You can go back to all these streams of just anticipating where the market's going to next, like day by day. And yet again, spot on. Not because I'm a genius, just because I spent time or years learning technical analysis. That's really all it was. So yeah, really good day for the market. You do have a gap to fill in the S&P 500 at 43.73. You have a gap to fill in the NASDAQ at 15.6K. And what's going on with the technicals? What were we talking about before today? Let's go over this SPY chart. Remember this? Anybody remember the inverse head and shoulders? Yeah, look, broke out of the inverse head and shoulders. Apart from that, we had the 1 hour falling wedge I talked about last night on stream with the 1 hour hidden bullish divergence I talked about. So yeah, I mean, just very clear technicals playing out. We were oversold. If you remember, I think on Monday night I was talking about how every single time, and yet again it happened. Look at this. This is why you watch the streams. I was looking at the 15-minute SPY chart on Monday night stream, and I was saying every single time the RSI has gotten down here the last 4 or 5 times, that was pretty much our bottom and we saw a bounce. Since Monday night stream, or since in general, I mean, we're up like 2%. So there you go. It's just, yeah, good stuff for the market overall. Even on the 4 hour, I think I have it charted here, you broke out of this descending broadening wedge. Like you had a lot of breakouts today, and you broke back above 43.70 by a large amount. I mean, now you're back above that level by over 1.5%. So today was a breakout day for the market. Look at how much the MACD went up compared to the last few days. Like, yeah, that's a breakout day. Now, here's the thing. A breakout doesn't mean that you're just going to keep going up and up and up. You could get a back test, you can get a gap fill, and then go up. But yeah, we broke out of multiple structures today. And most importantly, this 43.70 level I was talking about last night on stream, and for the NASDAQ, the 14.5K level I was talking about, we did close above it yesterday, and then we just got more fall through today. So it's good that we're above those levels, because now we have clear levels to the downside if we do start pulling back again to look for as support, rather than being like inches under the previous support and then you have a support far away. Like now we have a very clear support. Even the gap fill could be a support potentially. It just clears things up a lot. The only thing is, the one part that's confusing is what happens next, right? Do you go fill that gap, which we have tended to do a lot this year, or do you keep running after the breakout? We'll see. Time will tell. Yeah, I mean, on 1 hour time frames, you are now getting overbought. Now, historically, when you get overbought on the RSI on the 1 hour, you're going to pull back. So the question is, how high will it go before you pull back? So that's really what I'm looking at right now in the market. Kind of my thoughts right now. I think today was a very strong day. I have no clue how the market will open tomorrow at all. Futures are flat right now. So regardless of whatever happens tomorrow, even if we do open higher, we could see some sort of intraday pullback. We really didn't get any pullback today. So, I mean, I'd love it if we had 2 just straight up days with like no real pullbacks, but it's just not typical. So you might get some sort of a pull tomorrow. I don't think it'll be anything crazy even if the market does pull back. You're just getting overbought on your lower time frames. Kind of the opposite from Monday night's live stream where you were oversold on lower time frames. Now, it's like literally the exact opposite. On Monday, I was saying you're oversold on low time frames, but you still have some bearish questions on larger time frames. Now what I'm saying tonight is you're actually overbought on low time frames, but you have bullish technicals on high time frames again because you broke out of important structures and important levels. So it's kind of the complete opposite. And yeah, that's really the overall thoughts that I have for the market in terms of large caps. Bearish divergence on the 4 hour. I will tell you one thing. There is bearish divergence on the NASDAQ on the 1 hour. We can take a look at the 4 hour in a second here. So you just got to flip. You went from bullish low time frame technicals and bearish high time frame technicals over into kind of the opposite. However, I haven't looked at the moving averages yet today. I want to take a look at those. So you have 1 hour bearish divergence on the NASDAQ. You don't actually have it on the 4 hour. We can take a look at the S&P 500. Potentially, I mean, your MACD would have to go back down to red before the S&P breaks above 44.65 to get hit in bearish divergence on the 4 hour. Let's see the 1 hour. Also classic bearish divergence on the 1 hour developing for the S&P 500. So low time frame stuff, again, that can play out very quickly. You can get like a 0.5% pullback and that can play out. You never know. They're just oscillators. I mean, they're not just oscillators. You know how much I love oscillators, but on low time frames, they could be a little bit funny sometimes. But we'll see. There's something else I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, the moving averages. So let's see. I think we're still under the 100-day moving average. I don't know if I still have it on my chart. We'll see. Not want to do that. That's not going to be it. This is not going to be it. I think I have to. Is this it? Is this a 100-day moving average? Let's see. All right, so this is your 100-day moving average. You're above it. What moving average are you under? Maybe it's your 50-day. Let's see if I can pull that up. Okay. Oh, look at this. All right, so that green line. Let me make a different color because my 200 days down over here, and that's the green line. I'm gonna make this make it white for right now. Okay. So we gapped above the 200-day moving average. I mean, I'm really just okay. We gapped above the 100-day moving average. We closed right at it yesterday, and then we gapped above it today. And we ran all the way to the next moving average, and that's where we closed at. Okay, so we closed at the 50-day moving average. Technically, if you zoom in a little bit above it, we can take a look at the SPY. Also, yeah, so you pretty much gapped above the 100-day moving average and then ran up and closed right at the 50-day moving average today. So going into tomorrow, I guess that's your resistance. If we have any sort of a green open, I mean, literally, if we open up 0.05% higher, we're going to be above that. Of course, you want to get more confirmation than just being above it for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this is like your short-term resistance. Support is very clear now. This is your support. It is so clear, and you want that as a trader, okay? You have your 100-day moving average and this huge level at 436 on the SPY as your support. It's clear as day. I'm sure 99% of people who know how to chart can see that level. And that's all you just want to stay above. As long as you're above it, I'm bullish on the market overall. However, like I said, on the lower time frames, you might see some sort of like intraday pullbacks and stuff either tomorrow or on Monday. You know, it's not too hard to just look at RSIs on the 1 hour and under. And at the same time, it's not too hard to zoom out to your daily and use all those things that I teach. Supports and moving averages and candles and patterns. You know, it's not rocket science. It's just, you got to spend time studying. So that's my thoughts on the SPY and the NASDAQ. Remember those levels. I keep trying to say it every single night. I know there's 37 people in here right now. I wish there was 5,000 because there's a lot you can learn from just looking at stuff like this. It could help you out a lot with your trading, just knowing the levels. If we do break above that 50-day moving average tomorrow, I think next level for the SPY is going to be 444.9, okay? That's pretty much this candle high and this candle high and where this candle opened, and almost this candle low, all right? So if we get above... Wrong one. Those are EMAs. Where did I just... Here? Okay. We get above this white line tomorrow, which is at 442.59 on the SPY, and we actually can hold above it. 445 could be next for the SPY, which is a huge move off the low from yesterday. That would be a 3% move if we hit that. I'm just giving you the levels. I don't know what's coming next for sure, but those are your levels for the SPY and the NASDAQ. And seriously, I mean, we'll see. It's been a really fun 3 weeks anticipating the market day by day. Let's talk about small caps and mid caps now. IWM is getting towards the top of the symmetrical triangle. That's really it. You could see some resistance at that supply line, although you could chart it a little bit differently. So just in that general area. You do have a gap fill on the IWM at 222.69 roughly. And then, all right, so this is your support. I showed you the support for the S&P at 4370. This is the support you have for the Russell 2000, okay? The gap fill and the 200-day moving average, and just where you kind of spend 3 days of price action at before the gap up today. Then if we go over to the ARK ETF, we talked about this last night. I said it was looking strong. It had its highest close since September 27th. We talked about that last night. You got followed through today. You gapped up. You have, no you don't, wait, do you? No divergence, but again, here are your fake technicals playing out. Classic bullish divergence at the PCZ with deep crab inside a descending broadening wedge with a bullish hammer at a historical support. Since that edge, the ARK ETF is up 9%. Just saying. But you are now overbought on the 1 hour chart. The last time the ARK was overbought. Let me kind of take these blue lines off my chart, and I'm actually going to put on new blue lines and show you what happened the last time that the RSI was here on the ARK ETF, okay? So we're on a 1 hour chart. This is for all the mid-cap growth stock traders. Let me just delete one more line. All right. So you're currently overbought. I'm not going to put a blue line there. Let me scroll this up. Come over here. Skip that song. And in general, in this whole entire area, you overbought. I'm just going to go to the last time the RSI peaked, which is right there. Right over here. And then right over here. Do you notice anything? Is this rocket science? RSI comes above 70. That's literally the top on the price on the 1 hour. Over here, RSI comes above 70. Actually did go a little bit higher. It was going higher as the RSI was going down. When your price is going higher and your oscillator is moving down, what's that called? Classic bearish divergence. So instead of just topping out because the RSI was overbought, it ended up actually creating some classic bearish divergence in this little area, and then it started falling. Time before that, just as the RSI got overbought on the 1 hour, that's where the price topped out. Time before that, same thing. Time before that, same thing. You notice something? It's really not hard at all. I'm just looking at levels on an RSI. You go to indicators on TradingView, which is right there. You put in relative strength index and boom. All right, I'm trying to teach you all these things to look at the market because they are going to affect a lot of the individual stocks that you trade. Especially if you're day trading, you need to be aware of what the lower time frame charts look like for the indices, okay? So yeah. Now this is another clear area of support for the ARK ETF, 113.52. It's your gap fill. It's roughly this candle high. Okay, I'm showing you how I find levels. All right, it's that, this candle high, this candle low, this candle low, this candle low, this candle high. This is not a coincidence. Actually, I don't know if you could call it one, but there's a reason why there's support here and then resistance here. People are watching those levels. It could be a self-fulfilling prophecy, but also it's an area where buyers and sellers interact, okay? So another index with a clear support. This is what you want to see as a swing trader, day trader. It just really helps you manage your risk and plan out trades and move your levels according to how the market is looking, right? So just to kind of repeat everything, 113.52 is your support on the ARK ETF, okay? You want to hold above that. On the SPY, remember the moving averages. 436 is your support on the SPY. All right. I want you all to be charting these levels on your own charts. On the IWM, your rough support area is around 221 to 222, and then on the NASDAQ, your support is around 14,500 to 14,600. Okay. All right, those are levels as support. In terms of resistance, just look for the swing highs, or look for the swing highs on 4 hour, 1 hour charts like this, like this, like this. Look for levels that line up, and there you go. That's my thoughts on the market. Keep an eye on the lower time frames being overbought, but also keep an eye on potentially looking for levels to bounce off of, because now we're starting to see good stuff. All right, so that's the overall market. Hopefully that was educational. Give me a second here. Let's see what's in the chat. What's up, Cheddar Freeze? The Waffle Maker says, has anyone else noticed that the volume number on TradingView is different than one on Thinkorswim or Fidelity Active Trader Pro? A lot of different brokerages and charting platforms have different data feeds. Also, some of them are using real-time data, some of them are not. Sometimes you have to select that. So there's a lot of different variables that can throw those off and make them look different. Are the Dodgers playing again tonight? I thought you said that last night. What's up, Neutron the guy? Alright, let's talk about clov. Hit that like button if you didn't already. Hopefully you enjoyed that market analysis. I hate patting myself on the back so much, but like I've just been really happy with how I've been able to move my trades alongside the market in the last couple of weeks. I mean, this morning alone, I didn't share this with premium members. I didn't share with all of you last night on stream. I used what I showed all of you last night on stream, and I got a nice trade at the open. I made 100% profit on SPY calls, like literally like it was nothing. It was the most effortless thing ever. 100% profit just because I knew levels on an index, and I had a plan going into the day. It took me 20-25 minutes, and there you go. So like, a lot of people overcomplicate this stuff. It's not complicated. It's just time that you spend learning. All right. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Let's talk about clov. And I'm excited to talk about clov today. Okay. Feels good. Let me go over to 30-minute time frame. Feels good. The cup and handle we've been talking about since Monday night. All right. This morning, I shared a tweet and I also shared a ping in the Discord that it was moving towards the neckline of the cup and handle. And just as it was moving towards the neckline of the cup and handle, okay, boom, 6% spike. Let's see how long it took. It was within a 5-minute candle, 6% spike. Wow. So what ended up happening yet again is technicals were setting up, and then a catalyst came out, and then they combined and boom. I mean, this happened last Friday when there was 3.5 star rating. Okay, this happened. What were we talking about prior to that? Again, if you don't believe me, go back to the streams. Talking about the classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour, holding 7-11 for 3 days in a row, the 1-hour bullish butterfly, the 30-minute alternate bat. You cannot say I wasn't talking about all of those prior to that CMS star upgrade. Okay, even the 2-day chart we've been looking at, all of it, we were talking about it. And then boom, on Friday you got a catalyst, and again, it's been happening since January. You start seeing some technicals line up, and then boom, the catalyst comes out. You know, a lot of time, most of the time, it is a coincidence, but at the same time, it's the coolest coincidence in the whole entire universe that the composite operator is laying out for all of us to see. Okay, so we talked about that cup and handle all week. You got a catalyst to help push you over the neckline. Right when you broke that neckline, I mean, just after breaking the 820 level that I was screaming out last night on the stream, within seconds it went up another 5%. All right, so you ended up having a nice move on news, keyword on news. And what happens when you have news? Sometimes intraday you get a pump and dump. Okay, what happens? You have a lot of people with Bloomberg terminals. They see some sort of news come across very quickly. They either have algo bots or they're just very quick and they have hotkey keyboards. And within seconds of them seeing the news before everybody else, they can place their trades to play that news. They're in, okay? Then the news comes out to everybody else on PR statements. I mean, of course, it's illegal for Bloomberg terminal people to be seeing it ahead of time, but at the same time, they're paying for that. And then everybody else sees it on Twitter, on social media, on CNBC, and then they start driving up the price because they're putting in their buy orders. And then what happens? You have intraday profit takers, people who are playing just for the news, or day traders. They could be scalpers that want to take their profits, and they take their profits, and then where do you go? A lot of the time, you go right back down to where you were before that news came out. If it's not like insanely good news. I mean, basically, I think there's some rumors about the Walgreens talks. I could swear there was back in like January. I don't know if there's like updates or whatever it was. I didn't really look too much into it, but had a great spike. Didn't last more than 5-10 minutes. Came back down. And a couple other things happened. You did close under 820, so you closed back below the neckline. However, you're about 1% under that, so it's not too hard to get back above it at this point. On the 15-minute chart, maybe you could have some sort of like a double bottom occurring over here. So I'd say 806 is the important level intraday tomorrow. The only thing is clov is notorious for morning flushes. It likes just flushing at the open, and sometimes it just keeps flushing, and then other times it moves back up. But like this 806 level, you could see was resistance on these few candles on the 15-minute chart. Then look, it flipped into support. It was even on the candle, like pretty much before the news, it was your resistance. And then go figure, the fake technicals played out again. It came all the way back down to that same level it was using as resistance prior to the breakout, and it put 2 hammer candles in and had another push up to the VWAP on the 5-minute chart. It might have moved by now. No, it didn't. So look, it went from a support to the VWAP. Where did it top out? To the VWAP. Technicals are so fake. I wonder why it topped out right there. And then boom, it got shot down there again. On the 5-minute, you have a bullish shark harmonic pattern. And look, it bounced at the PCZ. How much did it bounce? It bounced up 1% at the PCZ. I shared this with premium members when it was at 808. So again, just you have the news kind of making the price go up and price go down. That's obvious to anybody who looks at this chart. But if you really know what you're doing and you really look at things, you can see that everything that happened pretty much made sense, okay? From this move, which was catalyst related, to this move down, which was catalyst related, to bouncing off this support, to failing to break above this VWAP, to coming back down to the same level at the PCC of a shark. Like, you can get out a magnifying glass and break down all this. Nothing I just said was fake. These are all real technicals. That's a real VWAP line. This is a real shark pattern. This is a real previous resistance flip support. I want to teach you all these things. So those are your low time frames going into tomorrow. In terms of like the cup and handle, of course, you just want to get above 820. What's that other level we've been talking about? 812. Where did it close at? 812. All right. You close right at 812 pretty much. 811, 812. However, on your first 4-hour candle of the day, you got your first 4-hour candle close above 812. That's what I've been talking about all week. I want to see that. And, you know, it sucks that we didn't get 2 out of the 2 4-hour candles above that level, but you kind of got the second one right on that level. But you could see that 812 level. We talked about it. 2-day low, or 2 4-hour candle low, 2 4-hour candle low, 2 4-hour candle high, candle close, candle open. And then for the first time since September 17th, you closed above 812 on the 4-hour chart. This is the last time that you did that. And then you kind of came back down to that same level. What could potentially be happening? For the first time since in almost a month, you could be trying to use that level as support. However, again, the technicals can change if you have some sort of a pre-market that, you know, there might be some sort of a sell at the open. Futures might be down. Like, there's so many different factors. That's why it's not super easy to use intraday technicals going into the next day, because a lot can change overnight. But if a lot doesn't change, then they could be valid. Now, on those higher time frames, we already talked about the 4-hour chart. You are losing momentum on the 4-hour MACD. And here's the other thing. All right, I don't know. I asked about this in Mitch Ray's Discord. I didn't even check if anybody responded to me. I had to go to class. Maybe someone in the chat can help me out here. So what is this? What are we calling this? Okay, so from a psychological standpoint, having a large wick like this is just not the best, because it shows that there was price rejection to the upside. And technically at the top of trends, when you get something that looks like this, it could be looked at as a shooting star candle. However, if you zoom in, you also have a bullish engulfing candle. So a bearish candle pattern on the daily, but also a bullish one. So, I mean, the way that I'm looking at it right now, it's like, you know, technically on shooting stars, you should be having a red day after your shooting star candle to confirm it. And then technically on bullish engulfing candles, you should be having a green day to confirm it. So I guess regardless of however you want to look at that, today's candle, tomorrow will just kind of confirm which one it could be potentially. But again, you got to look at things like volume. I mean, if it's like a 5 million volume day, 6, 7, it might not matter too much. If you have a 20 million volume or above type of day, maybe it does matter more. So, all right, hopefully that all made sense. The 2-day chart that I brought up last week in the Back to the Future stream, continuing to just look cool. I'm not going to even say playing out, but just looking cool. And yeah, I mean, if history repeats itself, and again, we're only the sample size for this is 1, but there's only one other time that you had the same exact type of setup on this chart, which again, you could also pull up on your daily time frame, but you only have a sample size of 1. But the last time you had this type of looking visual price action, you went up to $11. All right, so that's clove. There were some nice call sweeps today. I was looking at the options data. I don't know if that changed the overall options chain though, so we can see if it did or if it didn't. 3rd day in a row, the scanner's mainly just picking up calls right now. And of course, there are people trading puts on clove, but the larger orders that this scanner from TradingTix picks up has just been calls to puts. I mean, the calls to put ratio has been 1, and the algo sentiment is bullish. I mean, look at this. Kind of had a huge spike around 13:30. So this is 1 o'clock, so 1:30ish, pretty much at the 4-hour candle close. And for the first day, pretty much in the whole entire week, you actually have an increase on the call volume and put volume, which is nice to see. Historical IV is still very low. I know my chat is blocking you from seeing the current historical IV, but that's low. And then the open interest by strikes, not much of a change, honestly. So yeah, you did have some nice flow today. I mean, I'll just show it really quickly. So yeah, I mean, it was good flow. You had a nice amount of sweeps. You know, one of them was around 100K in premiums. That was pretty much the largest one. You know, 10,000 volume on this one. The 8.5 calls for next Friday. There's a sweep on those. So that's the options data for now, but not too much of a change on the overall chain. And that is clov. All right, so let's move on to Fisker. Second. And one last thing about clov. It was a good trade for me today. I'll just put it like that. I was on my way to college, and thankfully I was on my phone while this happened, because if I wasn't, I mean, there was literally probably 80% chance, because I'm usually just looking out the window or something when I'm on my way to school, but like, yeah, I mean, thankfully I was on my phone at this exact time, because if I wasn't, it would have just been back down within another 5 minutes, and I would have looked at my phone like, wow, because I had $8 calls for tomorrow on clov, and if you're a premium member, I shared that with you all, I think on Tuesday, and they went up 200% on that spike, or since I alerted them on Tuesday. So I was able to take, I think, like 160% profit or something, like right at the top. Why? 850. I was just thinking 850, kind of halfway in between 8 and 9. I didn't even have time to go look at my chart. So I literally I saw it was 850. My options were expiring tomorrow regardless. So I'm like, all right, I might as well take 160% profit. I took my profits on those calls, and then it flushed. And yeah, I got out of those calls for tomorrow. I held like a little bit, and then I sold them when it was retesting the VWAP. And then on this dip, and then even a little bit on this dip, I averaged into some other calls. We'll see if they work out or not. But yeah, that was fun. I mean, we've been having a lot of fun right now, or recently, in options trading. It's been great. But yeah, we could talk about, I mean, maybe before we talk about this, we could talk about another options trade just for education. I don't know if I still have everything charted out though. Can't remember. I think I deleted everything. Let's see. Nope. All right, so I shared this with premium members also, I think on Tuesday. They were $107 strikes for AMD expiring tomorrow. They were out of the money at the time that I shared them by like $1 or something. Now they're like $5 in the money. And this was the biggest one of the week. Yeah, I think like 460% profit or something in like 2 days. So again, you know, even if you're not in premium, I'm showing this all to you on stream to show you how I find, you know, most trades are not 460% profit. I'm not going to act like they are, but this is how you can find potential ones. It's not rocket science, okay? You had 1 hour hidden bullish divergence on both oscillators. You had a cup and handle on the 1 hour. All right, on the 30-minute, this is pretty much right when I shared it with premium members. You had a bullish engulfing candle at the open on, I think the 11th was Tuesday. No, Monday. Whatever day it was, I'm not good at math, but you had a bullish engulfing candle. Actually, no, I can't even remember. I think this is when I personally got in AMD calls, something like that. And then it was bouncing off this area for like multiple candles on low time frames. You could see it very clearly. Even had a bullish pin bar here. And also the market, I was lining it up, how this was looking, I was lining it up with the market and the SPY. And then it gapped up with the market on the 13th, and then it gapped up again today with the market. So, actually no, it actually had news yesterday. So many different things you can see. And there you go. I mean, that's 460% profit in like, probably like 15 or 20 candles on the 1 hour chart. So that was another cool trade. We had another one as well. I don't know if I'm going to show it just yet, but let's talk about Fisker. which was another options trade alerted right over here, and that went 100%. I think it was like 100% profit, maybe a little bit more. That was shared on, I think, Monday as well. And I talked about this on Monday night stream. Falling wedge, break, hook, and go. You went to your next resistance. You couldn't break it yesterday with confirmation. You couldn't break it today with confirmation. I'm still holding. I talked about this last night. I said I was still holding Fisker calls. I still am holding Fisker calls for next week. I took profits on my calls expiring, probably somewhere in this area, but yeah, still holding Fisker calls. I just hopefully can break above this mid $14 level. It was resistance all the way over here, and then it was support back in January. It's just testing it. You kind of had a nice candle today. You know, you had a large sell-off back down to like 1405, but then you rallied all the way back up to 1445. Now you have confirmed hidden bullish divergence on the daily and the 4-hour. It's like everything's lined up except for this level. It still has to confirm a breakout above that level for a continuation, obviously. If it does, I mean, I think there's room up to like 16 next. That's like your next resistance. So yeah, hopefully Fisker can break above that level. We've been talking about it for a while now. Not even overbought on the 1 hour. There's room, but I think tomorrow could be a good sign of if it's strong enough to break it in the short term or not. I think they're having some sort of like a call tomorrow. I don't even know if it's tomorrow. Let me see. October 20th. That's alright, that's next Wednesday. So next week on Wednesday. And then November auto show, if I'm not mistaken, that we've been waiting for all year. I think that's where they're going to be showing like the reduction ocean, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. So yeah, that's Fisker. Let me see what's up in the chat, and then we'll talk about the other ongoing trades. Chat's so quiet. Why is it so quiet tonight? Say what's up in the chat. And 2 more likes at 50 likes. Didn't already hit the like button. All right. Anyway, volume is above 10 million. Price goes high and dies down. I didn't think it is going to squeeze unless there's some news. I don't know. It's weird to me. I mean, if you're, I'm gonna try and count it up again, but I understand. I do understand. There's a lot of people talking about clov, and there's a lot of frustration. I think it's mainly, you know, long-term holders, because obviously it's really not done much of any sort of a rally since it was the all-time highs on June 9th at $28, and then it fell down to $7. I mean, apart from the 50% rally in 20 days that we talked about with Wyckoff that nobody cared about, apart from that, you know, it's just not done super well. But then again, we talked about all those bullish variables last week down at 710, and now it's at 812. Like, but I get it. I know. I mean, if you look at the average cost on Webull, it's probably still above 15. The average cost of shares on Webull. So like, I get it. You know, for me, I've said this multiple times on stream. 90% of the time I'm in clov. The only times I'm not in clov right now is when I'm waiting for a dip to get into other calls. But yeah, I just trade calls, and I know some people don't have opinions against people trading calls, and I don't care what anybody thinks. I've said this since day one. I could care less about what somebody else thinks about how I make money. But if you're a premium member, I mean, this week alone we did 200% on clov calls. I'm gonna tally it up again tomorrow, but literally, like, since, and I talked about this on stream, like, since all the way up here till here, right, the price has gone down 75%, and I think probably over 75% of the options, call options I've shared with premium members have been winners, which means a 20% gain minimum. So I don't know, even last Friday was a huge day for me on calls, and I said this last week, I took profits and I moved them out. So I'm trading it. But at the same time, it's not like I'm not like in for the long term, because technically, like I just said, like most of the time I'm still in, right? So it's like I'm trading up the ups and the downs, but even though I'm like always trading them. Does that make sense? So it's like I'm technically like still always in, but I'm just trading it so that I don't get screwed over when it dies down on low volume, because I've spent the last couple of months understanding this chart. So, you know, for me, there's a lot of people that are just holding and waiting, and I hope that all those people eventually one day it has a crazy move, or just over the course of years it just moves higher and higher and higher, and I hope that's what happens. But for me, you know, if we're talking about percentage gains, right? Like, I don't even want to add up how many percent it's been if you combine all the calls we traded. Like, it'll scare me to know how good that percent is. And I'm not trying to have an ego. It's just the truth. And premium members know that. So, yeah, that's why I think I have a very different feeling about clov compared to many other people on the internet. It's just, I've been doing it differently, you know? I notice a trend, and I'm not trying to counteract the trend. I'm trying to let the trend be my friend, and I'm profiting off of that, not even going short. I mean, the easiest thing in hindsight was just to be going short and getting puts up until, apart from this rally and this current rally. But I've never, ever gotten a put on clov or shorted clov. I don't short anything, actually, but sometimes I trade puts, but I haven't on clov. So, yeah, that's my explanation for that. What else is in the chat? And Vishal, I have to say this all the time because I keep doing this, and I always need to say this ahead of time. I always do this if you watch the stream. Somebody just has like a very general comment in the chat, and I start going on a rant, and I hate that it might make you feel like I was directing all of that towards you. I do this all the time on stream. Somebody has a comment, and then it makes me think about a few other things, and I just go on a rant. None of that was directed towards you. That just, it made me go on a rant, and I was just talking about a lot of other people in general. Okay, so that was, want to make it very clear that was not about Vishal in the chat. I was answering the question, then I moved on to ranting. Okay. Explain sweep options. A sweep is when an option buyer goes for the ask. Okay, so if you have an option, you can have a bid price and an ask price. All right, so all right, so we have Mr. Champ over here. All right, we have Mr. Champ. He's an option trader, and he's looking to get calls or puts. Okay, he goes onto his brokerage platform. He looks up options. Okay, and he sees that there's an option premium. Okay, now that premium is just a price that the options are valued at. Okay, what creates that premium? Buyers and sellers of said option. Whether it's a call or a put, there's buyers for calls and there's puts. I mean, how do I put this better? There's buyers for calls and puts, there's sellers for calls and puts. Okay, so regardless of whatever the option is, let's just use calls because it's easier for me to just put it in one way. There's calls, there's an option premium on them. Okay, there's a bid price, okay, which is more of an optimal price to be entering if Champ wanted to get in at that bid price, but the price might need to be going down for him to get filled at that bid price. Okay, well, let's say he's really bullish on whatever underlying asset that option is a derivative of, and he can't get filled at the bid price in the short term. I mean, he doesn't care about getting filled at the bid price. He wants to get filled right away on that option. Instead of waiting for his option to fill at the bid price, which maybe it doesn't even fill at all, and maybe the price keeps going up with the underlying asset, instead of doing the optimal thing, he goes over to the ask side, okay? So he gets the ask. He buys it at the ask price. And what that means is he really thinks that the price is going to be going up. Or at least the price of the option is going to be going up. If it's a put, then that means Mr. Champ really thinks that the price of the asset is going to be going down, okay? But he thinks that the options premiums will rise. So instead of waiting for the bid and hoping that he gets filled, instead of just hoping, he just goes right for the ask. He gets filled immediately, but it's not an optimal premium price, right? So if the stock goes the other way, as per what the option trader or Mr. Champ is going for, then not only is he not trading he's not filled at the actual premium, he's not even filled at the bid, right? So, you know, it's really what a sweep is when an option trader just goes and slaps the ask. I did not mean to put it like that. That's just how a lot of people say it. And literally as I just said it right on stream, I realized what that meant. I'm not even joking. I go on Twitter and I see people say it all the time. And I'm just all right, just a phrase that people use, and the second it came out of my mouth, and I'm turning red. I kind of realized what I was saying. I'm sorry for that. I literally wasn't thinking there. And I know I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just, because it's usually a very PG stream, and I try to keep it that way because I know there's a lot of parents that watch like in the living room and stuff, and I've gotten messages and stuff about that. So I try to keep things PG, but yeah. So hopefully that explains the sweep, okay? Mr. Champ is going for the ask, and now the chat wants to start moving. Great. But yeah, basically you're kind of getting filled at an unoptimal price because you still think it'll work out for you. That's what a sweep is. So when you see a call sweep, that means that the Mr. Champ is really trying to get filled immediately and doesn't care if he's getting filled at an unoptimal price. Okay, it just shows a little bit of an extra sign of bullishness in the short term. So hopefully that visual helped explain it. Great. All of you were so quiet the whole entire stream, and the second I say something like that, now everybody wants to start talking. Keep hitting that like button if you didn't already. I swear on everything. No, I'm not gonna say on everything. Maybe I did realize and I forgot, but like literally the second I said that, I actually realized what I was saying. It was funny to me. All right, so hopefully that helped out. Are we doing ticker requests tonight? I honestly don't think so. I'm not reading like half of the chats I see right now. I'm just skipping over them. Steven Rounding Bottom says excellent explanation. Thank you, champ. You got it. And that I'm sure that helped out a lot of other people in the chat. So thank you for asking. Hopefully that visual helped. That wasn't me saying that. The guy said that in the chat. In case nobody's looking at, like, in case you're watching the stream on like a TV, you're not looking at the chat. Blame the guy, not me, for that comment. I really don't want to see that in the memes channel. That's all I'm thinking about right now. Now that I said it, I know it's going to be there. So I just screwed myself even further. All right. Mr. Robinson says, thanks for your insight into long versus options in the clove segment. Again, and like I said, you know, with clove, I'm not saying that people just buying and holding is wrong. I'm not saying that. It still could be very right in time. It's just I'm doing what works best for me. And that might not be what works best for you or somebody else. So the main point I'm trying to get across is if somebody's making money, you let them make money. That's all we're trying to do in this market. I know there's been a lot of sentiment, especially on social media and most of the time Reddit, around, oh, puts are evil, shorts are evil. We're all playing chess, okay? You cannot get mad at how somebody else makes money. You got to find a way to make money yourself, all right? That's what I'm going to teach you in the free trading movement. And yeah, I could care less about other people's opinions on how I trade. As long as I'm not doing anything wrong and I'm making money consistently, I trade how I trade. If possible, can you take a look at Coinbase? I don't know if we're going to be doing I don't think we're going to be doing take requests tonight, honestly. I was just at college all day. I literally got home and I showered, I ate dinner, and I came right here. So I don't really think I'm going to be doing take requests tonight. So let me just go over the rest of the ongoing trades. All right, so VIPS it just pretty much did the opposite of what it did yesterday, which is go down 3%. I said this last night on stream. This is a long-term swing. It's a 2-year-long bullish bat. It could go up, it could go down. All that matters is where it ends up. It is a reward to risk trade, which means it is closer to the stop loss than it is to the target, as literally all my trades are. So yeah, hopefully it can make a bigger move to the upside before it makes a smaller move to the downside. It is a little bit of a looser stop as well because it is a very long-term pattern. That's why maybe you can adjust your position size according to that. Yeah, not financial advice. None of this is financial advice, but yeah, really nothing to update on VIPS. Same thing on NEO. It literally didn't even move today, just went sideways. If you want the analysis for NEO, go to my stream from last night, and whatever I said is the current analysis. Nothing changed. PBR, same thing. You actually did you hit your highest price since August today, which is good. Apart from that, not much. You actually could potentially get hit in bearish divergence on PBR on the daily if the MACD goes back down to red before the price gets above 1126. Trip was pretty much the only swing that did something today. It had its highest candle close since August 6th today. On the 4-hour, it broke out of a little bit of a triangle. I only noticed this after the fact. But yeah. So Trip, it's trying. All you got to do is clear this little choppy zone and spin in. And there's not a ton of resistance until the first target, okay? There really isn't. You just went straight down the last time you were in that price range. And a lot of stocks, they go straight down in the price range and they go straight back up until the next level. People look at levels on charts, and in between those levels, you could have a lot of flexibility. But again, it's never perfect, so it's really it for Trip. I mean, not too crazy. I think the majority of the stream was me just talking about the overall market, clov and Fisker. We also talked about AMD for a little bit if you're a premium member. That was a fun trade. I did take profits too early on AMD. Honestly, way too early in hindsight. I guess I could just say, I mean, I took profits on AMD at like 55% profit. I'm not gonna lie. And they went 460%. So fun. But I mean, Fisker calls were fun this week for me. Clove calls were fun this week for me. And I did talk about this earlier in the week. Monday and Tuesday were not good days for me in the market. But yesterday and today were great days for me in the market. So yeah, there's gonna be ups and downs. You gotta stay composed in the ups and the downs. Can't get too high on the highs, you can't get too low on the lows. Like, it's just waves. You just gotta be making higher lows in your account. That's your main goal. Higher lows and higher highs. Have a good one, Zeke for Bleak. Futures, they went up. Not a crazy amount, but they're up like about 0.15% right now. Bitcoin's also bouncing a little bit. And yeah, tomorrow's a Friday. I'll probably be trading some lottos. But I'll probably be trading on very small position sizes tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, tomorrow, I already talked about the market. Yesterday, all right, so on Monday and Tuesday, I lost a certain amount of money. Between yesterday and today, I made all of that back and a lot more. So yesterday and today were great days for me. So now I'm up quite well in the week. So going into tomorrow, I'm not trying to go into the weekend and thinking, wow, I made all my losses back and I gained a bunch more, and then I lost it all playing lottos. Like, yeah, tomorrow I'm probably going to be playing lottos, but on very small position sizes, probably just for like the actual craft of trading and not even for the money. Which Cheddar Freeze actually shared something about that, I think, in the testimonials channel. Let me read those words. The goal of a successful trader is to make the best trades. Money is secondary. Meaning, if you focus on your trades and edge, money becomes a reward. Most focus only on making profits first. That quote was from Alexander Elder, and it was shared in the Discord and testimonials channel by Cheddar Freeze. Okay, so that's, yeah, tomorrow. Well, yeah, I'll just be trading a couple lottos. I still have Fisker calls, I still have Clove calls. I still have another call that I'm not going to be talking about on stream for right now. So yeah. Actually, I guess I could. They're wish calls. They already hit the target for premium. Not the target, but they already went up 20% since the entry if you're a premium member. So I guess I could talk about them now. Maybe we could just talk about that. So I still have wish calls. Actually, I shared these with premium members not too long ago. And yeah, they went up at one point. They were up 20% since the entry. I don't exactly remember where I shared them, but very simple on Wish right here. It's making a higher low. It broke out of a falling wedge on the 4-hour and the daily, and there's daily classic bullish divergence on Wish, and there's a 30-minute cup and handle. So yeah, I have some Wish calls, a lot of Fisker calls, a lot of clov calls, and I have a little bit of a hedge. I'm not going to talk about the hedge. They're not clov puts, for anybody wondering. It's just like a market hedge. And that's my plan for tomorrow. Just hold my core positions and play some lottos, and if I make some profits, maybe cost average. I don't know. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. And yeah, that's the plan for the week. I'm just trying to think about like other stuff to talk about. We're not doing tick requests. I just saw your chat, your blind spot. I don't know. I really just don't have energy to do tick requests tonight. I was at school all day, and then tomorrow I'll be staring at charts all day. And yeah. See anything in the chat? Any questions? I don't know. I could still be live for however long, I guess. Or maybe I'll just like kind of look around for a little bit. I shared this on Twitter today. Somebody requested this on stream, I think like last night or the night before. Zella, classic bullish divergence, is now confirmed. It broke out of this falling wedge. I would share a swing on this, but in general, I don't like sharing swings on penny stocks. And also, what was I going to say? There's this gap filled that never filled. I mean, it might not ever fill it. This thing could go to the moon before filling it. I get a little bit antsy whenever I share something and there's still a gap like right under it that it hasn't filled. I don't know, but just sharing that. What else? Facebook, somebody else requested on stream recently, the bullish pin bar off the 200-day moving average. It just broke out of the wedge. I might be looking at this for lottos tomorrow. Oh my gosh, it's a perfect range. Wow. This could actually be very easy. But again, sometimes when things look too easy, they might not be easy at all. But look at that. I mean, you could chart this range a little bit differently, but you just broke out of a descending broadening wedge. Maybe if it breaks this range to the upside, you can actually have some fall through after the breakout. Maybe if it breaks this range to the downside, it could back test the wedge breakout and then fill the gap as well. So that could be good for calls or puts tomorrow. Again, not financial advice. I might not even touch it if the market looks weird, but I'm going to save this. I mean, even like that could be calls. I don't know. It depends on how the SPY and the NASDAQ look too. I'll go with that. You had a bullish pin bar low right there. I don't know. I'm just looking for random stuff for tomorrow. AMC had a nice day. Broke out of this triangle. Also broke back above this 38.64 resistance. Maybe if it holds it as a back test tomorrow, that could be nice. We already talked about AMD earlier. Micron's been lagging other chip stocks. I think I shared this in a watch list or something. But it broke under this really important zone, so I don't know. I could also share this with everybody. This was shared with premium members on Sunday in the watch list. Look at this. I mean, triple classic bullish divergence at the PCZ of a bullish bat inside of a falling wedge with a break hook and go on lower time frames. Like, wow. And look where it went, right up to 94. Last Sunday I wasn't live because I was live last Friday, so I already covered everything going into this week. So on Sunday I did a call in Discord. We have about 2,000 members in the Discord. Unfortunately, only 5 or 6 people joined, but if you were in that call that I did on Sunday night, I was looking for my weekly watch list, and this was one of the charts I showed everybody in that call, the 5 people. I remember me and Neutron Flux Labs talked about this chart, and he actually brought up this 94 level, I think he did. And even this one, shared this with premium members on the weekly watch list. I don't know what the news was, but it went up 50% yesterday. Again, I don't really like putting out swings on pennies, so sometimes I just share them in the watch list and leave it at that. Yeah, I don't know. So AMC, Facebook, maybe for lottos tomorrow. Again, I'm not telling you maybe for lottos. I'm talking to myself right now. Okay, keep that in mind. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just pretending I'm not streaming right now, and I'm just talking about what I might or might not do tomorrow. for lottos. And again, I'll be trading on a very low position size regardless, so I'll be risking whatever I put in and I'll be fine with it. Look at this level on Roku, 328. This candle low, this candle high, this whole entire resistance, these two candle lows, this candle low, 328 could be a nice level tomorrow morning. But again, it might not be at all. It's a lotto. And look at this level as well. It was a high over here, kind of where it just gapped down over here, and then a low over here. So nice little range right there. Even if this level breaks, then there's a nice range to over here on Roku. Those are some interesting levels. JG says AMC was mentioned on Mitch Ray's day. I saw that. You're a premium member though. We talked about this yesterday. Well, we didn't really talk about it. I shared this triangle with premium members yesterday in chat. And look how perfectly it's been playing out. How do you find the target of a bullish Garley? There's a lot of ways. I'd say watch the course is the easiest way. Yeah, watching the course is the easiest way. There's so many ways. You could pick an A point, you could pick a C point, you could use Fibonacci levels, you could use historical levels, you could use oscillators. Like, you could target things in multiple ways, whether it's a Gartley or a crab or a double bottom, like any pattern. There's not necessarily just one target. I mean, you know, a lot of the harmonic cheat sheets will just a lot of the harmonic cheat sheets will just say this and this as targets, but again, you might have an insanely important historical resistance right over. Why is that not working? 1 second. Why is it taking out a trend line? 1 second. That's paste. Oh, it's the other button, sorry. So, yeah, you know, you could use this and this, but if you have an insanely important historical resistance right here, and that's where it tops out. But also, what happens if you get insanely clear classic bullish divergence by the time that the price gets to over here, right? So, there's a lot of different ways. Alright, so I guess that'll be it for the night. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I wish you all luck tomorrow in the market. If you haven't watched Squid Game, watch it. And have a great night. Alright. I'll leave you all on one very important note. This is something that I need you all to be aware of, okay? You know, this is very important. This could change your life potentially, okay? There's this car, and if you sit in one of these cars, somebody told me that apparently $1 billion falls out of the sky on top of you. All you got to do is just take a seat in this car. I don't know. Don't say I said anything though. Alright? Keep that a secret. I don't want everybody becoming billionaires. But yeah, I mean, this magnificent, extravagant, luxurious vehicle shaped like a ancient dinosaur egg, it could change your life. I mean, the stock is down insanely from its highs, but the car, I mean, look at it. It's insane. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong car. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I was supposed to be looking at this one. Something must have slipped my mind. All right, well, I'll leave on that note. Have a good night, everybody.